Hey guys, welcome to this interview where we get to discover the world-class musicians that hold it down inside the Robby Krieger and the Soul Savages, who is launching their new record, Robby Krieger and the Soul Savages. Hey Robby, hey Brandino, how you guys doing?
Our album just came out. It's #1 on the hit parade, right, Kev?
No, on the contemporary jazz album. That's what I was told. I'm still trying to find the link to actually say that it's for real, but that's what I was told.
I expect nothing less. You know what I mean?
Right. Why expect anything less?
Absolutely nothing less. It's so good to get to see you guys again. The last time I actually saw you in the flesh was when we were hanging at the Weed Con, which was a truly, absolutely fantastic memory for me. Being Brandino's bass roadie for the very first time, and actually to see you, Robby, like totally hauling ass right next to Steve Lukather and giving him a run for his money when you guys were doing those dueling battles over there. That was absolutely stupendous, if I may say.
No, Robby cut him. Robby cut him. I'm telling you, Robby cut him. I'm not biased. I've worked with a lot of great people. Robby knows that besides working with Robby. But Robby cut him. He cut him for whatever reason, because after that we played a couple of shows downtown, 7th Grand, and Luke showed up with his girlfriend to kind of see him. I think if we could steal some of Robby's, legendary licks, man. I'm telling you.
Wow, absolutely.
Well, you know what? I just saw him about a week ago. We did a benefit show over at the Canyon Club, and he was there, filling up all the holes like he always does. You know, we call him the dentist sometimes because he fills up all the holes.
That's right. That's actually hilarious. The Soul Savages, awesome band that's comprised of some of your longtime friends and some really heavyweight players, some really great guys. We got Brandino on bass, Ed Roth on keyboards, and Franklin Vanderbilt on drums. And of course, you doing what you've been doing forever with your staple sound. What a freaking awesome band and collaboration. I gotta say, this record sounds absolutely fantastic.
Well, thank you much.
Thanks a lot.
We're having fun. That's the main thing.
It's a 10-song production that you've blessed us with, and you've kind of teased us with a few singles out there. The first one being the one that I saw a video of you guys doing some really cool shit called Samosas and the Kingfishers. Has this awesome kind of trippy, like Indian acid tripping mood going on.
Yeah, I was using
that's a sitar song.
Electric sitar. I got the idea from Ravi Shankar's song. I think it was called Evening Raga.
Really great groove, man. And we're using one of those, like, was that like some kind of Dan Electro sitar guitar you're playing on that thing?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
I think there's a picture of it on the album cover somewhere. Have you got a copy of the vinyl yet?
No, I haven't gotten a copy of the vinyl. I'm very excited to get my hands on that and put it up on my wall and on my turntable.
Well, he wants the ones that are hand signed by all of us, Robby. So that means, it's a good at the studio when we meet,
That's true.
He wants one of those the golden ones, as they call it, right? Is that it? I don't know, but
anything will do, guys.
The best is if wait until it goes gold and then get a real, gold record.
I love you guys. You guys are just, I'm so happy that you're doing this.
But we have to get ours first.
Yeah, of course.
Let me ask you something, if I can interject. So, Momo, out of the 3 songs that we have, whatever, I guess, visually wise, which are 3 songs from the album, which one out of the 3 you like the best, period? Put it that way.
I actually like them all. They're all very different from each other. The Samosas and the Kingfishers has got that kind of, that acidy trip kind of music that I really love. And a Day in LA is like, I really feel like I'm in a freaking convertible and you guys are like paving the fucking road in front of me as I'm driving, like tripping out, you know, and then that Rabbit freaking song with that insane video with the cat and that guy. I gotta say, I was not expecting that. That is quite the mind blow. You guys really look like you have a blast when you play together, when you make videos.
That was kind of a crazy video. Yeah, we're going to keep doing that, you know. Great to do videos nowadays. I mean, you have to. Every time you have a song that looks like it might be going somewhere, you got to make a video on it.
Do you guys have a favorite song?
Well,
I do.
You do?
You probably like the one where he starts off with the bass first.
Hey, now you know who started the song. Okay. Now we all did. No, seriously. It was kind of a plan between Robbie and Ed going out with the Doors. They had stuff that they would be talking about or whatever, you know, and I was doing grooves trying to basically see if it would go any place, you know, with the pedals I had at the house and all this stuff too. So what I like about Killzone is because not just because of the bass, the way this song is set up, it's like go for it. Once it starts with that evil pentatonic that we do, you know, and go into the bass line, it just goes, you know, you're going on a trip, man, acid trip, melodically, blah, blah, blah. That's how I see it. And it doesn't stop until we end the song because of the energy of the song and the tempo. So that's my take. Sorry, Robbie.
What do you think, Robbie? What about you? What's your favorite one?
So you like Killzone the best?
I like the drive of the song, the tempo, how it moves.
Yeah, that's a good one. What do you think about Sharkskin Suit?
Oh, I love that song.
Yeah,
I love that song.
Got some energy to it, you know?
Well, yeah, that one. Well, I like that one too because that puts us in Ohio players that, you know, Prince, you know, whatever, all those guys. It was one of those. I told Dale when he heard it, I said, I thought about you guys, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis and Prince, you know, with an E Jam and came up with the line and Ed knew what to do and Robbie knew what to do. Is, you know, so it's one of those kind of songs. It's a dance song. You can't help it except get up and dance.
The sound is absolutely impeccable, and also when you start playing shit with that slide, man, you got a very particular slide style that I can recognize if I had like cement in my ears. You know what I mean? Like
that's a nice compliment. Thanks. Yeah, I try to be different on the slide. You know, usually when people play slide, it's blues. You know, it's got to be blues, but. Take a song like Contrary Motion. I use the slide on that, and it's really not blues. It's, I don't know what you call it, but it's, you know, like Moonlight Drive, for instance. That one, it's blues, but it's not, you know. In fact, my friend Arthur Barrow, who plays bass, when he first heard Moonlight Drive, he was like a kid, you know. He's like 18 years old. And he didn't even know it was a guitar. He said he thought it was a theremin or something like that.
Oh, I know. Dude, hey. You have been doing that shit for years. And as time goes on, you've evolved it. And I have to say, I got goosebumps whenever I hear that. I think I told you, like, the last time I saw you, not to mention your old band or stuff, but when I was a kid, Riders on the Storm used to scare the shit out of me. And when I'm on the radio, I'd pull my blankets over my head, and I even pissed in my pants one day. And I, you know, the second the storm came in and those guitar lines and there's a killer on the road, and strangely enough, I met last year another guy who told me that his son, the same thing happens to him, and this is like now, right? So. Like I'm over the 60 club. This is like a 9-year-old.
That's pretty funny. I'm sorry about that.
No, it's okay. But terrifying thing. I wonder whether people even said that to you at one point, because that song must have scared a lot of people. A lot of young kids who were listening to that must have gone, "Whoa, what's this killer on the road shit?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I never heard that. But I can see.
So you
how
heard it
that
from
would
Robby.
happen.
He's never been asked that question.
No,
Wow.
but I can see how it would happen. You know, Jim was always, trying to scare people.
Yeah, and you were keeping everything in control, right? So that's amazing. Getting back to the Soul Savages and Robby Krieger. So what was the process of like you guys getting together and like doing this?
Well, I have the studio in Glendale, and it's not too far from Kevin's house. And also Ed lives near there. So Ed and I had been getting together. We were doing this reggae album, and we heard about Kevin had gotten sick and now he's better. So wow, we got to celebrate. Let's get Kevin down here. Let's jam and stuff. And I had been sick myself. I'd had a bout with melanoma, and I just got better myself. So. And before that, Kevin and I were mad at each other. We hadn't spoken to each other for like years.
I don't know why we were mad at each other. Oh, yeah, because there was a lot of... We made about a couple of mil off of Event Horizon, and I couldn't find a record company to get paid. I said, Robby, he said, call Oglio. I said, I do, but their number's not listed in the phone book. Okay, I'll shut up, Robby.
Oh, I'm happy you guys made up. I mean, it's got to know. Anyways, at a certain age and a certain time, and we're too old to make new friends and shit like that. It's about moving forward,
We don't have very many friends left. That's the problem.
Right. Well, so
it's better to have friends than enemies.
But you knew Franklin, right?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool to hook up with him, because I had never met him before. So we started getting him in on these jam sessions. And then we started turning the recorder on, We just might as well record some of this. That's how the songs kind of came about, just from jamming.
I love that. That's the old school way of doing stuff. When you get together in a room with a bunch of boys that you vibe with, and all of a sudden you start capturing those initial takes and creating the vibe that way, something that has unfortunately disappeared with a lot of the newer kind of music, you know what I mean? And both you guys come from the world of jamming in order to get down those real tracks, you know what I mean? It's so
the garage band.
And I can feel that. I can feel that when I hear the music, you know what I mean? The organic bubbling of the stuff being born in real time. I mean, come on, man, right?
You could tell that, huh? That's cool.
Yeah. And would you say that like doing that kind of stuff, it's got to give you energy, even like heal part of your soul and keep you as a savage, right?
That's a good thought. Yes. No, definitely. I mean, that keeps us going, doesn't it, Kevin?
The bottom line is that the expectation, it was funny that we were thinking about it. Everything Robby said, it was true. And not only that it was therapy, it was organic, because everybody was kind of looking, even when Dale was in the band, everybody was like looking at a side outlet musically, and it just developed in that scenario. So it was really, it had nothing to do with doing the reggae, had nothing to do with egos, who does this, who got a degree. It was basically 4 people coming together and exchanging ideas, and it went the way that it did, and Spirit led everything else in the way that it did. And people say that all the time, that the band sounds like a band, and that's rare, especially musically, in this day and age, that has that sound, because usually it takes groups 10 years to get that kind of lineage, or whatever the right.
I mean, if I peel back, like, all the people that you guys have been all individually and together associated with, it's basically anything that's ever been anything that is historical, that started everything, that we have today, and that, you know, they took a piece of it, and unfortunately they whittled it down and tried to keep a piece of the past, but until it became like a big fat, like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
you guys were
exactly.
the real deal, man. Like after you guys, it was only carbon copies till the ink ran out. You know what
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, all of a sudden, why is this image and this sound fucking fading out like this? It's degrading like a fucking tape that was poured into acid. And you know what I mean? We got a problem here. And, you know, so you guys are bringing that shit back. I mean, wow.
Yeah, I think it is kind of reminiscent of the 60s and 70s. Not that we were trying to do that. It's just how it came out, you know?
Yeah. Well, by being yourself, right? Like, you know, being part of like the over 60 club myself, I know that the whole process of the music business, you know, can take like a lot out of you, the whole entire thing. Like, you guys have seen everything from the back room to the front room. For all the musicians out there who are reinventing the game by staying relevant at our ages, what keeps you driven and motivated, like, to keep creating music the way you do?
Well, it ain't easy, you know. It's I mean, maybe it is easy because you really can't make any money playing music anymore. You know, so it ain't for the money, that's for sure. In a way, that's a good thing because it shows that we're doing it for the music's sake.
Art is art, and everything recycled around. So, Robby, let me ask you this. My bass amp, is it loud enough now? Hey, I just want to know because, you know, I've had whatever, 2 of them made or whatever. I was just trying to get a testimony out of you since the first time he cracked. He said, "Hey, man, Brandino, is that all you have?" And I go, "Oh, shit. Okay, man. I better step up my game." I'm just asking.
Turn it up.
I'm just asking a plain question. Just
No,
like that guy.
Definitely loud enough. The last gig, you were overpowering.
Because the other thing, Robby, somebody asked me about the title Blue Brandino, and I said, I don't know nothing about this. Ask Robby.
Is that because you turned blue because you were fucking pissed at something, or what?
No, I don't know. Ask Robby. I never heard I didn't hear the answer. I know the guy asked him, but I couldn't hear it. I was talking to somebody else.
It is kind of bluesy, you know.
Oh, it's kind of bluesy. Okay,
yeah,
that's what it was.
That's what.
Okay, that's all good. At least I know now.
What is that on your ceiling, Kev?
It's some kind of installation. What we did, the side of my garage. My father and I we didn't have a garage, so we added this on and built the whole thing. And that stuff is like sonic, what it called, insophone.
Guys, instead of Robby Krieger talking about gear, we're talking about insulation in Brandino's garage.
Yeah, this is my man cave.
So, guys, like, I have to tell you again, Robby Krieger and the Soul Savages, their new record is out, is absolutely spectacular. It's coated with, dripping with experience from the past that has been pushed right into the future. Shit you cannot fucking mess with because it's natural DNA that has hit vinyl, right? Moments that have been captured in time at Robby's studio with some of the greatest players in history. And, you know, I'm not trying to paint this any thicker than it really is. It is that thick. It is the truth. There is no messing with history. And history has been laid on a piece of red vinyl for y'all. And it's called Robby Krieger and the Soul Savages, man. And they're pretty savage, you know what I mean? And they got a soul, too. So,
well, we're proud of it. And we're going to start making another one pretty soon.
So, Robby, is there anything you want to say to people out there before we end this interview?
Well, I don't know if you got my book that came out last year.
Okay, what's the name of that book?
It's called Set the Night on Fire. It's my, life story. And with all the Doors stuff in there, setting the record straight, finally.
Oh, that's got to be interesting.
Yeah, it's out in paperback now.
Okay, well, that sounds fantastic. Guys, you need to check that out.
It's probably on Kindle, too.
And what about you, Kev? You got anything you want to say to the peeps out there?
I'm just chilling right now, you know, if it's true about our contemporary jazz album hitting the #1 spot, you know, if that happens, you know, it's time for champagne at the studio, Robby, you know, for the guys and everything, so we can salute. So we'll see if, you know, once I get an authentication is the word on it.
But Robby, Robby, does Brandino make you laugh as much as he makes me laugh? Is that a fucking character and a half? There's nothing like this guy, right? He's his own breed.
Yeah, never met another like him.
I'm telling you.
Thank you, Robby.
Robby, this guy, he's like, this guy's like a giant kid. You know, I tell him all the time, you know what? I accept you as you are. No matter what you do, I just respect you. So he'll call me up, and before I finish talking, boom, he just hangs up on me, fucking disappears. And I just laugh every time. Guys, I want to thank you so much for spending this quality time with us. It's always an honor and a pleasure to be in the same digital space and breathe the same digital air until I can breathe the same physical air as you guys. You guys totally rock. Robby Krieger and the Soul Savages, people. Check it out.
All right. Hi, Momo.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.